Hello and good day. Welcome to episode 3 of Morning Moments with Muriel. I am your host, Muriel Lillian, and I am excited today for you to tune into this episode. Today we will have a guest author, Robert H. Badgett III, who will speak to us about his new book that's out. And his book is called I Dare You to Love Again. And it's basically talking about how he went through his divorce and how he got to the other side of that. But I am going to start us off as I usually do with some scripture references for you to make notes of and to kind of follow along and just have some food for thought since we are talking about the topic of divorce. This series, seasons 2, is all about lens check. Is your vision clear? Is the theme for this season. And Robert's book really gives us some points of view that we should be considering of who we are and our views on marriage and how we should prepare ourselves for marriage and how we heal post-divorce. But let's talk about what God's view is on divorce, or at least one of them. I'm not going to profess to be a theological scholar on all the principles of when God says it's appropriate to have a divorce or not have a divorce, but it is clear in this scripture a reason that a divorce would be valid, I should say, or valid. I am starting to read to you from Matthew chapter 19, and the heading in my New King James Version says marriage and divorce. Okay, you might be able to see that on my phone. Marriage and divorce is the heading. So, starting at verse 1, I am going to read until verse 9. Now it came to pass when Jesus had finished these sayings that he departed from Galilee and came to the region of Judea beyond the Jordan, and great multitudes followed him, and he healed them there. The Pharisees also came to him, testing him and saying to him, is it lawful for a man to divorce his wife for just any reason? And he answered and said to them, have you not read that he who made them at the beginning made them male and female, and said, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and the two shall become one flesh. So then they are no longer two, but one flesh. Therefore, what God has joined together, let not man separate. We hear that a lot at weddings. That verse there, the pastor would say, what God has joined together, let no man separate. In this version, it says, therefore, what God has joined together, let not man separate. But in verse 7, it says, they said to him, why then did Moses command to give a certificate of divorce and to put her away? He said to them, and the he I'm talking about is Jesus, because it's written in red in my Bible. And when it's written in red, that's Jesus's words. Verse 8, he said to them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, permitted you to divorce your wives, but from the beginning it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery. And whoever marries her who is divorced commits adultery. I hope you can hear me. There's a ride-on lawnmower going on over there, but I believe because I got my mic on that you should be able to hear that loud and clear. And if not, I will do a voiceover when I edit this to make sure that you are hearing those words clear. But I'll read it again. He said to them, he said to them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, permitted you to divorce your wives. But from the beginning, it was not so. And I say to you, whoever divorces his wife, except, it says his wife, comma, except for sexual immorality, and marries another, commits adultery. And whoever marries her who is divorced commits adultery. So in these scriptures, what God is saying that sexual immorality in your marriage and adultery in your marriage relinquishes you from that marital commitment. A divorce is valid when there is sexual immorality and adultery in your relationship. And so I know that my first marriage, was plagued with a lot of adultery and infidelity being inflicted upon me. My husband was very promiscuous or entertained a lot of other women, um, whether it be calls where you're building an emotional attachment to a woman, and he did engage in sexual relations with women, and hidden, from me. And so he committed adultery first in our marriage, and that then breaks that tie of the two will become one flesh. The two are no longer one flesh when um that sin of sexual immorality and adultery is committed. And so in this case, I take from this that that does allow a divorce to be valid. Um, so we will come back and, again, please like, share, and comment on these videos. What is your take on that scripture? Again, like I said, I am not going to profess to say I know every single reason in the Bible where God says it is okay to give it a divorce, but my mind is clear that my divorce is valid due to the sexual immorality that was a part of that marriage. And therefore, as I am in my new marriage, I am no longer committing adultery because now I'm engaged in a new marriage with another man from my first husband, and vice versa. When my husband married another woman, um, he is no longer committing adultery against me, per se. But it is here in Matthew chapter 19. Like I said, I read starting from verse 1 all the way to verse 9. Read it for yourselves, and I can't wait to hear your thoughts. And I'll be back with our special guest. If he dresses the lilies, say, how much more? If he watches every sparrow, how much more? How much more? Sing, if he dresses with beauty and splendor, how much more? How much more will he clothe you? If he... You ready?
I'm ready.
All right. Welcome. Good afternoon. Let me move this little thing here. I am Muriel Lillian, your host of Morning Moments with Muriel.
I know I'm picking up.
It's going to be picked up. Don't worry. It hears you because I've been doing this for a while now.
Excuse me.
I'm your host, Muriel Lillian, and I am here with an author. This is the second book?
This is the second one.
Second book. Don't worry. It looks backwards on there, but it'll be forward when you see it.
Okay.
We are here with Robert H. Badgett III. He has a new book out called I Dare You to Love Again. Discover how to build a life of love, freedom, and purpose after divorce.
Yes, that is the book.
All right, that is the book. It's on the back there. All right, so you know it's not an imposter, it's the real deal. So we are here today. Rob and I have met years ago. I was doing the math about 20 years ago in our church, or at least in my church. I don't know if he was a member there at that time.
Eventually, I became a member.
Eventually, yeah. So I was a member, but he was like associated and affiliated with other gentlemen that used to go to the church, and he was a gospel rapper. So him and his crew was one of my first experiences hearing and learning about gospel rap. So I was a fan of his music. So he is multi-talented here. So Rob, I call him Robbie, but you can give your bio.
Yeah, people who know me personally, intimately, definitely Robbie. Those who don't, it is Rob Badgett, which is will be the rest of you folks. Thank you so much for
the rest of these folks
for this opportunity, man. I like, even offline when we're just having conversations. Like there's always been a synergy there, and connectivity and relatability.
Yes.
And anything in the compound, like miraculous stuff happens here.
Yes. We are at the official compound. Yes, I named my home the compound because the significance of that is because I'm locked in. I have lost homes before in my first marriage, and I vowed never to lose a home again. regardless of what my relationship status is. And so I said, when I get this commitment again, I'm going to be locked in.
Yeah.
So this is my compound, and we are celebrating 10 years this Labor Day.
That's it. Yes.
All right.
Let's
10
celebrate that.
years
Sure.
locked in. All right. So, and I want it to be a safe place for
Yeah.
family and friends. So that's what like a compound is.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, but definitely 25 years. You know, somebody I was having a conversation with today, he was like, "Yo, you wrote a book?" You know, and they had heard my music, and I was like, I said, I'm a writer. It just finds different ways to be communicated.
Right.
And I've been writing for as long as I can remember. The only class that I liked in school was English class. And I'm writing poems and love letters and all that stuff. Like,
oh yeah, love letters.
Yeah, yeah.
Hold up, we
that
gotta
was the
plug out to
that
the
was the
first
last,
book.
Yeah.
His Love Letters for Her by Robert H. Badgett was his first book. I'll put a picture in here too, so you could cop that as well. But continue.
Yeah. So I've always had a desire to communicate, and you know, this specific work was it was a lot because you know it's that lived experience. The first book was a devotional for women, which it didn't have anything to do with me, but this one was, you know, a story that I felt like, all right, we need to tell this story because there's multiple stories in this story.
Yeah,
but we were able to do it, man, and I'm excited. The project just came out, and yeah, it's going well.
Hold it up close, and I'll put another picture. But I loved it. I read it in a couple of days, so it's a quick, good read. Keeps your attention. So we're talking about my series this year. Season 2 is about lens check. We're checking our lens. Is your vision clear? Is your vision of what you see for yourself and what you want for yourself, or even is your vision when you're going through things clear? Because you may still see something, but God has a different viewpoint of what he's trying to show you. And you have to be open to receive that vision. And you also have to be open to submit to, all right, maybe my plan isn't working. I need to listen to what God's plan and what is he trying to show me. So lens check. And what I liked about this book is that there's so many points in here that resonated with you challenging people to think differently when they're going into like a marriage again, because you're on the other side. What you learned when you were in the marriage retrospectively.
Sure.
And so your vision is clear this time, or clearer this time, because now he's happily married again, right? To a beautiful woman, and there's a family picture in here. And let's talk about her first. Let's talk about her first.
That's great.
I love this.
You know,
beautiful.
I thought it was definitely, so the book starts off with our wedding day, which I felt like, you know, I was divorced for almost 6 years before meeting her, but I felt like the divorce, it needed a comma. Like, I didn't want to start the story like, yeah, you know, now you're out here trying to figure your life out. Like, me getting remarried, us starting our family, was the conclusion of that story.
Yes.
Right? Where I didn't just want to, like, oh, you know, get over it and then go find somebody. No, I wanted to be at a place where I could show you there was life on the other side. There was, you know, new love. We have 2 children that we've had together. And so the story, the book starts off at our wedding day. And I'm describing how, you know, that day was for us. And then I ended off with, I'm getting married again. You know, it's the cliffhanger. And then we go in reverse, man. But she is a beautiful woman. I was definitely way more ready this time around. Did some healing work, some hard work. Things are definitely a lot better for me in this season.
I was a little disappointed. You know why? Why? Because you should have said a classic R&B story. I remember that was your theme. Can we say her name?
Yeah, Brittany.
So we got Robert and Brittany, and his theme for his wedding was an R&B love story.
Yeah, that's true.
I thought that was so cool, and I saw you with your music and everything, and then she has her own talents with spoken word and stuff. So you should have put that in.
You're right. I'll take that.
Second edition, a classic R&B love story. All right. But y'all just pencil that.
You might be on to something there. You might be on it. We got, you know, we need to talk about the other side.
Yes.
You know, but you know.
Yes. And I met her, and she's sweet, and she likes to dance. I like that she likes to dance too.
She does.
So I'm happy that you found I think you're matching who God has brought for you. And your children are beautiful, gorgeous children. All your children are, but I think, like you said,
they're that new beginning.
bonus mom and having two more kids to add to the previous kids, and she's embraced them. So kudos. Shout out to Brittany.
Yeah, for sure.
Doing her thing. All right. Let's get into well, I want to get into
I haven't been briefed about anything.
No, yes, this is unscripted, meaning I have some thoughts from his book. He has not prepared for this. I haven't given him no questions. We are just freestyling, if you will. Pun intended to the music industry.
She's definitely driving the car.
All right. So y'all know I've been through divorce myself, and my book is out there, so I'll plug my own book. I Am Done Believing You. Move on from the lies you believe and discover your truth. So Rob and Brittany have read my book as well. And he was, he's been in my life for so long and knowing me through church, and his cousin's married to my cousin, and our families are intertwined now. Yeah. My best friend's married to his other cousin. So
her husband was adopted family for us.
Yes. Yeah. My husband was hanging out with them, and his mom, I call her auntie, took care of my husband when he was younger. So we've been in each other's lives. God has been building the circle. But I've been through divorce too, so I wrote about it, and him and his wife read my book as well. And so what I liked, well, first, what I didn't write in my book, which I was telling Rob that I left a lot out of my story because it was so much to tell.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna get into this because I wanted to share that and I thought it was interesting that you put this in your book, the you, me, him, and her chapter. Yes, chapter 3, excuse me, is you, me, him, and her. And do you want to share why your marriage? What was one of the reasons why your marriage broke up? Because I think it was different for you. I was a female where my husband did infidelity and adultery to me, and yours was your wife committed adultery.
Yeah. One of I'll say one of the reasons. I think there was a lot of reasons of why that relationship ended. And I think, she did she committed infidelity first, because I did follow up, and it's like, okay, you did that, let me do that, which is dumb. But the infidelity in our relationship, it was the death blow to a lot of other events that were happening. Throughout. Because I feel like, when infidelity happens, it's really just a manifestation of things have already broken down.
Correct.
Like who cheats on someone who they're committed to, faithful, we're communicating well. Unless you have a problem, a major problem.
I feel like that was my case. They had a problem, which I was doing right there.
Right. What is those two dynamics? Unless you really got some stuff you ain't taking care of. But outside of that, most situations happen because there's this little cracks that start to happen in the relationship. And now you're like, okay, since there's these cracks, anything can get it.
Yeah.
And for us,
and the devil's waiting, right? For that opportunity.
And he was waiting, and that was, a summer that I will not forget. It was just like, oh my God. Like, because for most men, which we often feel like no matter what we're doing wrong, just don't ever do that. Like, you can do whatever you say, call us whatever, but do not be intimate with another man. Like, it's a death blow to our ego, total level of disrespect. We could be true ain't blankies, right?
But
still, like, you ain't, don't ever do that.
Yeah.
And so that did happen. In that relationship. I was like, okay, cool.
So he got down to the nitty gritty where, like he said, he did a little payback. Because, he was trying to reconcile in the relationship, but you still in the back of your mind are holding on to that. You're angry at your spouse for committing such a infidelity against you. Like you said, you're picturing them with someone else, right? And that's messing with your ego. And so he did the payback game. And you felt like crap afterwards. It doesn't solve. So please, payback isn't sweet. That's one of my quotes here. Payback is not sweet. But I try to do the payback game. Now, my husband, and it's not in my book, but at the time, he had already cheated on me many a times. And I was trying to be the straight and narrow right wife. He's actually the person who led me to Christianity.
Okay.
So here I am now. You're exposing me to this, theology and this way of life to live like a upright woman.
Yeah.
And then now you're treating me like I'm nothing.
Yeah.
And so after multiple times, I finally was just like,
Yeah.
all right, you need to go. This is it. I'm done with you. He was living with his mom. We owned the house his mother lived in.
Yeah.
But I was like, you can't live here. We're separating. I'm done with you. And in that time span, we were separated, still married, but separated for 6 months. I meet someone, nice gentleman, single, no kids, professional gentleman.
Yeah.
And I engage in intimacy with this person.
Yeah.
I felt so guilty on those drives home. And I'm sitting here like, why do I feel guilty?
Sure.
Because I'm trying to move on from, he's not treating me right. We've been married at that point, maybe like almost 10 years.
Yeah.
And so, and then I think I had 3 encounters with the individual. And then my husband the whole time kept begging me to take him back. And I decided to take him back. And the gentleman told me he feels like I was using him. In which case I wasn't, but I was feeling like you just want to feel loved by somebody.
Yeah.
You want to feel like that rush of when you first met somebody.
Yeah.
But yet my heart was still with my husband. But so I felt like trash.
Yeah.
And so when I did, he knows this. But then when he begs me to come back, then you call me whores and you treat me like crap because now I went with somebody else.
Yeah.
So it was like I didn't feel sweet.
I think the thing is like you can be as mad, as hurt, as broken by what they did. But in order you to now do it, you have to now decide to compromise your own moral position.
Mm-hmm.
You're laying aside your sense of integrity.
Right.
So you're doing all this, and now it's like, okay, well, you have no value either. And we don't look at it like, no, for me to do this, that means
like
now.
I had more right to do it than he did.
For sure. Mm-hmm. But it's still, it doesn't make sense from, it's like, oh, so you feel like that makes sense? Because you got to lay down your principles in order to do it now.
Yeah.
Because people within good standing, integrity and all, because if I'm doing it, now I'm taking that off, right? And so obviously in the moment, you don't think about it. And it's like I've heard from an extreme version, I've heard people who've done other revenge-driven acts in other areas say the same thing, like it didn't feel better after.
Right.
Like people who said, I've taken the life of somebody who took the life of my son, and they don't feel good after. There isn't any.
Yeah.
And the truth is like you're trying to refill a void, and that's not a void filler. Healing is the void filler. Revenge is not. Yes. And so I was like, if there was, I have a couple do-overs in my life. Okay. Like that is one of them. Like I don't ever believe when people like, if you could ever do something over, would you do it? No, I do exactly the same. No, I would not. Like they was like, no. Nah, I'll take that one back. Like, nah, like no. Yeah. It's like somebody, waking up with AIDS. If you could do that over, would you do it the same? No, you're not. Like, it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and it's okay to want to take it back if you learn from it and know how to not make the mistake going forward. But if we had a magic wand, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things.
You know what I mean?
But so your first thing is you maybe make sure when you're in that place, are you really, like you said, compromising your morals? Look at the vision. Is it really a clear picture? Do you really think you're going to feel better by doing the same thing to that person that they did to you? No, healing is what you said is first. It's so searching yourself that knowing that you're valuable, you're worthy. And even though they may be sitting against you, I mean, I would lie if we didn't think about payback. But at the end of the day, choose the right option that's gonna make you in line with God, your spirit.
And Muriel, I remember there's a lot of different events that have happened in my life.
Yeah.
That they will always echo. And I remember when it was found out, because I told like I couldn't live in my body.
Right.
And I wanted some vindication, or I wanted to stab her back. And so, I told her. And I remember like there was like this wail that came out of her. Like it was the pain. It wasn't just her like, oh, he hurt me back. It was like wailing of grief and realizing we are here. Like this
And she probably felt guilty, like she drove you to do that.
did.
Yeah,
She did.
she probably was hurt.
But she also felt like, where are we going now?
Yeah, now.
You know what I mean? Like, what do we do with all of this stuff? And we surely didn't have a plan.
No.
And I remember the pastor at the time. He was like, man, he's like, are you that hungry for blood? He was like, okay, you've injured, like, but all you see now is just blood and dead bodies. Is that what you want?
Right.
And I was like, shoot,
we didn't think about
I
that.
didn't think about that, right? But you just still think about how you feel, and that's all
Right.
that matters.
Right. Well, you are also a licensed marriage and family counselor.
I am.
And I like that you shared a lot of things in here, I think, in this book to give people ways to think about marriage when they're facing with that decision, whether it's your second marriage or your first marriage. So we'll get to those points. Mm-hmm. And there's another point in here about.
Yeah, no, so I'll say I'm pre-licensed in Massachusetts, not fully yet. We have to do some more hours. But and life coach, I think what I will say as you're looking for that, my desire to even get into the space of marriage and therapy is because I think obviously looking at my failed marriage, but also the the results of so many families and their breakdowns, and seeing a lot of different patterns where I'm like, people don't actually know how to do this thing. Like they love the feeling of the love part.
Yes.
And they think that feeling is going to drive this thing for decades, and it's not. And then when a lot of things start happening, a lot of events occur, and you're like, oh, well, I guess the answer is let's just end this. There's a lot more happening that folks need help navigating through. Yeah. That they may not have the tools to do so.
Yeah, and I used a therapist too. When I finally made the decision that I was going to be done and not look back, we were 19 and plus years. And that's when I really said, let me get some good therapy, let me get some good spiritual mentors, and really try to make sure that I wasn't keep going tit for tat, that my decision and my vision was clear, that no matter what, I know that God has something better for me on the other side. I need to heal. He obviously needs to heal. And we're both just delaying our own growth by staying in this toxic situation. We had kids and we were raising them, and most of the time we stayed for the children. So we were putting ourselves we worked together good. As far as I will say, he was a good provider. I never had a lack for money and things to that effect. He was present dad, but at the end of the day, we weren't connected.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the version of me that married her, if I did not grow and heal from that version, I would have married her again. It just would have been a different face, because there were things about me that was, whether I was observing the flags, understood the flags, whatever, like that guy said yes to that. Yeah. And so if that guy did not deal and heal, he would have said yes again to somebody else, because we date from where we are. Yeah. Not from the future. You're dating from the present. Yes. And I think that's a valuable lesson that I learned. Like you cannot love somebody into the version that you want them to become. It doesn't work. You have potential from here to Texas.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
I can't
want the version you want them to become. You cannot.
You cannot.
That's true. Yeah. That makes sense.
It's like, no, like if they're not on track to become that version from their own, passion, pursuit, direction, you can still see it like, yeah. But that's gonna be on them. Yeah. And we're caregivers. We see the good in people. We want to all of that. And you like, man, don't you see the vision you got in your life?
I see where you are without you even seeing it.
Absolutely. Right. And I'm
see who you could be rather.
Boom.
Without you, even knowing. Yeah.
Right. But I marry who you are in the present.
Right. And I gotta try to be patient with you to get to that future.
And it's a choice, right?
That's the choice. The patience.
Because
I'm living
spoiler
it now.
alert.
Shout out to Big Reach.
Okay. I was gonna say
patience. Go ahead. Spoiler alert. Go ahead.
But the challenge is there's a possibility that they may never become it.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to do this.
Okay.
Clock that T. That's T right there. Clock that.
But I don't know what is the clock the TV.
You know, clock the T. Tell the truth.
Okay, I don't know.
That what you just said. We just said that there's a potential that
there's
they
a possibility that they may never become that.
So what do you do then?
Is that one of the questions?
Well, no, that's
true.
That's a good lens check. So you see something in somebody that you believe. I won't even say you may see or you may believe somebody has more potential than they even see for themselves. And so you're with this person, but there's a possibility that they may never reach what you see.
Sure.
That's deep.
Which is why, so I'll say a couple of things, right? You are growing if you're moving with intention.
Correct. Yeah.
Right? I think you can be good-natured, good qualities, manageable. That doesn't mean you're growing. I can survive and we can sustain with good people.
Correct. Yeah.
But if I start to want more fruit, then
tension
for sure.
There's tension there.
For sure. I have a quote that growth kills relationships. Right? Because my growth will frustrate your complacency.
Yeah.
So either you something you either you need to shut up or you need to speak up. One of the two, because somebody's gonna get frustrated. Because either I'm tired of hearing you say I'm gonna blah blah blah, and I want you to shut up, or I need to hear you speak up and be like, nah, I'm going after that. I'm going for it. It's one of the two.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a tough situation. I hear like with the Megan Good, not to shout them out, but when you said that, it made me think about Megan Good and was it Devon? Franklin,
yep.
something.
Devon
Franklin, where they said they just grew apart. Like
I know what that was.
Different direction.
And look who she's with now. Like a totally different dude, which makes sense for her.
Yeah.
She did not make sense for him. Right?
And maybe she was putting expectations on her.
Boy, was
she couldn't live up to.
Well, she never signed up for.
And they were in love, right? But then he maybe saw something that he wanted her to be, but did you talk about it? So that brings me back to, and my sticky must have fell out, but there was a part where you were saying like, when you're with someone, you fall in love with them and you're planning for marriage, but you really don't discuss how we're going to raise our children, what religion are we going to follow, what parenting ideologies are we going to follow? Do you spank? Do we do time out? Who's the breadwinner in the family? So that's the part I was trying to find. And like, did you have those conversations?
No, I didn't. Oh, the second time or the first time? Oh, my bad.
I'm like, hey, you just wrote a book.
Nah, I did.
All right, the first time around, no.
Heck no.
But the second
I'm gonna give you something.
Okay.
So it's important that we seek wise counsel. Wise counsel.
Capital W.
Now, and I say wise because just because it sounds good doesn't mean that it is good. Some of the most unwise counsel that I got, individual, right before I proposed to this, my ex.
The ex, okay.
Before I proposed to my ex, I was not sure. I was like, I'm seeing some stuff. I'm feeling some type of way. I'm young. I was only 23. I was 23.
Right.
My brain isn't even fully developed. I was
22.
Yeah. Right? Your brain doesn't fully develop until you're 25.
Ish, yeah.
Right?
50 for men, but
no,
joke.
We'll take it. And I went to this individual. I was like, I said, I'm not sure. Spiritually, I'm not, there's some things that, I said, I'm thinking about finishing school because I took a break from school.
Yeah.
What do you think? Like, I'm not sure. I said, I feel like I may want to wait. He said, well, why wait? He said, you can do that together while y'all together. You can get all those things afterwards. And in time, she'll grow.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Right.
No, she will not. No, she did not.
She did not.
And the truth is, she didn't lie. She presented and said, "Nah, this is kind of where I'm at. This is what
Right.
I remember."
Oh, put it back in. We can still hear you though, but
Okay.
it's a little loud. Time out.
Okay. So
Super.
I'm gonna share some tea. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
I'm gonna share some tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know if I said this in the book.
Okay.
Maybe I
I'll
did.
tell you if
Maybe
you
I
did or
did.
not, because I
Maybe I
read it
did.
everywhere. But
Okay. I remember. Maybe I did, but I don't know. I remember trying to lead her to Jesus after we had sex.
oh no, you didn't. You didn't put it on the book. No.
And because I was convicted, and I was like,
Before marriage?
"Huh? What do you?"
That the sex happened before marriage?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
day and night.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. So you was trying to lead a Jesus after
what
after
after after every time
oh jeez.
I'm done.
What did you do? Romans? What was this? What is it? Romans
Listen,
5?
yes, I did.
Okay.
Listen, I was like,
Stop.
because I'm
can't.
guessing conviction or whatever. I'm naked though, and I'm like,
Naked and unashamed by it.
yeah. I was like, yeah, God's eyes, but he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, man, I'm sitting on the bed, and I was like, can I just ask you a question?
You accept the Lord as Savior as you.
Mario.
No, you didn't.
Mario. I was like, have you ever confessed your
So
sins?
she never was in church before.
We'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to
Have
that.
you ever confessed it? Go ahead.
So I'm like, have you ever, confessed your sins? Here's what, here's how this works.
Okay.
So like, I was like, here's how the prayer goes. If you just say this prayer, then you're good.
You'll be saved.
You're good. And she was like, after we said it, she's like, oh, I think I said that before though. I was like, you did? Now I'm excited. I'm like, for real? She's like, yeah, I went to Catholic school.
Okay.
And, I said it there. The priest, the father, or whatever, he, blah, blah, blah. I was like, oh, so now I'm like amped. I'm like, oh, we feel the same thing. Mm-hmm. Right? Wrong. Like she wasn't in the church.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that because you're in the church that you're walking with God either. Right? But in my mind, I'm like, well, we can still be trying to go the same direction. Yeah. Right? Because clearly I ain't perfect.
Right.
And I was dragging her. Like, I'm like, what? I was trusting a big button to smile. Yeah. And I was hooked on the stuff. And I'm like, yo, this is like, you could definitely be a wife because you're doing all the. So we had none of them conversations. Okay. They were just like, oh, can you do this? I like it when you do that. Right. And we had some good moral standings. Like, yeah, she had a kid. Yep. And so I'm like, oh, you taking care of your son? You like to work your job? You got, oh, cool, that's cool. You couldn't cook worth to save a life, but whatever. Right. She had a crib. And
you can learn to cook if you're younger. Yep.
Right. And she was nice. So I'm like, oh, that's it. Yeah. And she was not circled into my family at the time. So I needed an outsider. Okay. Those were my boxes. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, that's it.
We had different boxes.
Yeah. Now. And we went to war.
Yes. So you asked those conversations this time.
Oh, absolutely. I had a list. I had it was just my 5 deal breakers. Okay. What I had at the time. Okay. All my 5 deal makers. Okay. And I had went through them like, look, you got to be blah 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 blah. Yeah. And she was, and she had hers.
She should right.
She had hers too because she's like, look, here's what I'm. I remember one of the obviously my non-negotiables was I'm like, look, I have children. You're getting them too. Yes. You're also getting their mother. So I'm not going to pretend to you like that's not going to be a factor. Right, co-parent. And as a bonus parent. I am not offended if you be like, nah, bro, even though I like you a little bit. I'm like, I told Brittany that I said, listen, I want you to know clear as day. Yeah. And I was like, she's not all the way there. God bless her. And, you got to know what you're signing up for. Like, so there's no mistake. Talked about money. Here's what I'm boom, 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 boom. Here's all these other things, and She said the only thing that I didn't hit on her box, but I kind of got like an honorable mention, was that
honorable.
I was not a singer. She wanted somebody who could sing.
Oh, you try though.
I try.
Okay,
but that's what I'm saying.
It's a
that's
melodic
what,
singer.
That's exactly what I said.
I
say. Still hit it.
I'm not a singer. I'm a melodic.
Yeah, that's it. I'm
not a rapper. I'm a melodic.
I'm in the realm.
Musician.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. You could put some bars out there.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah.
Good.
First time, no. Second time, heck yeah.
Awesome. All right, so do that.
Yeah.
I'm on your dime, so we're gonna keep going.
Oh, good.
Lens check. I wanted to get to this because this is something else that we have in common that I didn't know about you. Because my dad was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
And at some point, I believe my mother was as well. I do know my grandmother was an alcoholic. My mother told me stories about that, and that's why her and my grandfather had divorced.
Sure.
But I think my grandmother might have been in her 40s when she gave, or 50s when she gave up alcohol. And but my mother drank often with my dad. You know what I mean? You talk in here about when you went to therapy.
Yeah.
And they started going, getting to know you. So a good therapist needs to get to know who you are first before they can help you navigate help you kind of. I feel like a good therapist shouldn't tell you what to do. They should just help you navigate your thoughts.
It's called trust, truth, and then transformation.
Okay, trust, truth, and transformation.
Right. Before we get to the truth of the matter, we got to build trust first.
Yes.
And so the trust is established through time and getting to know you.
Yeah.
And then we deal with the truth of the matter. And then after that, you design the strategy so that you get to your transformation.
Yeah. So I like when you said that they had given you some symptoms that you hadn't even thought about, that you're displaying symptoms of an adult child of an alcoholic.
Yeah.
So that hit me because I'm like, do I have them symptoms?
Oh, yeah, you do.
I know. Well, I read the books, so I know. Let me read these out loud. Some of those symptoms included love people who need rescuing. Check. Lose the ability to feel. My friends call that my Josephine. When Josephine is on, I'm in FU mode, pardon my French, and I'm not feeling nothing. Lose the ability to feel. Do anything to hold on to a relationship. I tried that.
Yeah. 20 years.
Gosh. We call it, my friend, 20 years of being a clown blood. We drained ourselves of clown blood.
That's heavy.
Be concerned more with the well-being of others than themselves. Have difficulty with intimate relationships. I never knew that.
Yeah.
So in your situation, is your father still with us?
Yeah, he is. He's right down the street.
He's right down the street. Okay. How did that wake you up? And apparently the moral of this is we bring this into our relationships and our broken marriage. I never thought about that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Good question. I think so. Even looking at the symptoms, when I was describing in therapy, when I was describing a lot of how things were functioning, I hadn't told her, the therapist, that my father struggled with alcohol. Right. And she was just listening, and she was like, is somebody in your family an alcoholic? And I was like, yeah, why you ask that? And she was like, well, here's why. And then that became part of our treatment plan, but also starting to do research about it. And I saw how it really showed up in our relationship. Once I started to heal and recover, I was like, oh, shoot, all of these things went into my decision-making process. And then how I, handled it. Because what was happening is like, if you're with someone for a while, you start to know them. And one of the most dangerous things that we do in companionship is we see that they have some major issues, and we sacrifice whatever our needs are, and we feel like it's justifiable because their brokenness should be a priority. Where it's like, okay, they had a really rough childhood, so now I become their caregiver and not their companion. Because I'm like, nobody else, helped you out. Nobody else took up for you. So let me be the one. The problem is now we've created a unbalanced relationship because they begin to relate to you as this superior source that comes with the medicine. But then you like, Well, you also don't have the capacity to reciprocate it.
Right.
And so now what are we doing?
Right.
Right. And so now I feel guilty where I'm like, oh, well, I can't let you go because everybody else has let you go or they've let you down because the little girl in you, nobody loved you properly.
Right.
So let me be your dad now.
Right. Right.
Let me be your
me
mom.
Take care of you. Right.
Let me be that.
Yeah.
And you're like, but now it's like, well, we're not partners now. I'm your parent.
Right. Mm. I think about this because also I have a child that's suffering with alcoholism right now.
Wow.
And I don't profess to be an alcoholic, right? I drink alcohol, I do partake in alcohol. And one of my biggest fears is I didn't like my parents being alcohol.
Yeah.
So I fast alcohol. I often will, like in the beginning of the year, I'm never drinking, like January to like Valentine's Day. When I do my Valentine's Day now, that's when I have a drink. We go out to parties, I'm gonna have a drink. My husband likes to drink, so I might have some drinks with him at home. But I don't feel that it's causing me to be not able to manage my household, not able to work my job, not able to take care of my children and my responsibilities. But now where I have a son who's a young man, adult, but young adult man struggling, it's like I feel like I learned some things from like I stayed in that marriage for so long with abuse and neglect did not work because I saw my mother. So I would say I would exhibit someone who's how do they say, like symptoms of an adult child of a woman survivor of domestic violence or a victim of domestic violence. Like I had those attributes where I take abuse and we stay, being complacent. But
but
now,
your mom,
yeah,
also, your mother also stayed to take care of your dad.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he was the alcoholic.
Yes.
So she, it was this codependent dynamic.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for her, you seeing her behavior where it wasn't just the abuse, it's the emotional detachment, the emotional abuse that was happening. And you're like, okay, well, I guess this is what women do. Right?
Emotional abuse. And emotion, I did a whole project on domestic violence, and a lot of people always talk about the physical abuse, but it is mental, it's emotional, it is intimidation, those type of things. There's other, I got my notes in there, I did a whole PowerPoint on it. But there's other symptoms, like even if someone's not hitting you, but that mind manipulation, try to control and those type of things are part. And so with my son now in his relationship that he's been in for 9 years, that we're trying to not, we don't want him to continue in this relationship because it's two toxic people. These characteristics are his, and for some reason they're both bad for each other, but they continue to be with one another. Yeah. But I wish for him, and if he ever watches this episode, to allow himself to get over the alcohol. Yeah. So that he can see himself, see who his true value is, and that this relationship, like, allow him to let it go because he's only in his not even 30 yet, I'll just say, and to be with someone for 9 years. I think it's some of these same things that we learn to accept emotional.
Yeah, I think that the thing,
and drown ourselves in substances.
Great point of thinking there. I think the thing people are not honest with about alcohol is that alcohol, it has a job, right? It's there to provide something for me, and because if it didn't, then I wouldn't do it.
Right.
And so, at baseline, we can say, oh, well, this just tastes good because, okay, it's still supposed to. Like, if I'm going to keep consuming it, I have to get some benefit out of it. But it goes from taste to now pleasure. Yeah. The pleasure is providing something for me. And in simple math, when I'm consuming this to the point of I am drunk, then now we have shifted because why am I comfortable with being in a position that I've now surrendered control? I've now given over control. Right. The substance.
You have no control.
I have no control. What is it about my decision making that says I'm okay with allowing this substance to take control? Yeah. In any way, whether it's my thought process, my decision making, my driving, my relationship status at the time. Yeah. Like if I can't at any moment show up as my full self, then it's a problem. Right. In any moment. Right. Like
and using it as an escape to take you away from the reality.
There you go. There you go. Now we got a flag, right? Because we plenty of us drink for pleasure and social, and it's cool. But once I get to the comma part, and it's like, oh, something is shifting here.
Yeah.
And I don't have the ability to like, all right, I'm just gonna stop. No, you have a problem now.
Yeah.
Right. And we don't like that. We're like, oh, I'm not alcoholic because what they say. I'm not alcoholic because alcoholics go to the meetings. And so,
right.
so and it like that's a flag. Where it's like, nah. And I work with I run groups for people who are in recovery.
Okay.
And these are all different levels and occupations.
Yeah.
And they're all in there because for a while they were just lying themselves like, I don't got a problem. I ain't da 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 da. But it's like, no. Then you pull back the layers and be like, no, here is the actual problem. You're just medicating through this.
Right.
That's real. The alcohol in of itself is not the problem.
No.
The medication because of this is the problem.
Yeah. Tough. It's a tough situation, but that hit me. So, some of us, we need to look back into our family, like a lot of our behaviors, whether it's known to us or not, we take the things that we were exposed to as children, and we need to do a check, getting a good therapist, doing some journaling, reading some good books, because if you don't understand yourself, who you are, how are you going to be good for anyone in a relationship, right? Like you need to have a full understanding of yourself. What do you want, the things that you want, what your morals are, what your values are, and then as you look for a mate, find that person and have those conversations so that you can either say, hey, we're dating, like you said, you know what? Like Reef wanted to have when I first met him, he didn't have a daughter. I had 4 kids. I had a daughter. He has 3 boys. I said, look, I'm not having no more children. So if you're a man that wants to have more children, which he's young enough at the time to do so, I'm not the one for you and it's okay. Sure. So he had to make the decision to say, all right, do I really want another kid? Do I not? And now fast forward like almost 8 years later, 8 years later together, 3 years married, that I'm glad I didn't have enough kids because we wouldn't be able to take these trips, but at that point he had to see what was valuable to him at that time. And I knew what I could offer. I cannot offer mothering any more children. You can help me with mine. I will love your boys. And his son has grandkids now, like on his side, and we got grandkids on my side. I love them like my own. But if you need new little ones running around that we can't send home,
what you get?
You would find somebody else.
Right. Don't bet on.
So you have to have those good conversations. And if I didn't understand myself, I wouldn't have been strong enough to say that. Right.
Again, don't bet on me changing my mind. Right. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, don't you? Because he did ask. He said, well, can't you have, because I had my twos tied after I had Jake. I was young. I had him tied at 34. My twos, I said, I have 4 children. I'm done. But fast forward, I meet him, I'm like 42, 42-ish. And so he was like, but don't they do, are you going to pay for it? If you pay for it, I might consider. And I always said we would have made a cute chocolate baby. I always wanted chocolate baby. I got one chocolate baby. But at the end of the day.
But back to the dad thing real quick. What I was saying is that one of the other things that really showed up for me was, so my dad, he was emotionally unavailable. Okay. So for me, I did not know how to process and manage emotions. I just went cold. And one of the areas that I definitely contributed to in that relationship was I was not compassionate to her. Okay. I was not kind. I think I talk about, the narcissistic traits that were very present in me because like I could not feel compassion. Like I'm so guarded. Like a narcissist, you have charisma. So the idea is they think that, he's connecting emotionally. No, you're not. You're just creating a scenario to get your own needs met.
Right.
Not be available to theirs. And so I could
clock it.
So I did not know how to do that at all. And it showed up. And she was just like, I said a lot of mean things to that woman. God bless her. I did.
You know what?
Yeah.
You pray for it though, right?
Yeah. That's
how I healed though, because I had to pray for my ex and for the woman who took him from me.
Yeah.
So I don't want to say took him from me because I gave him away.
Who he went with.
But who he ultimately ended up getting in a relationship with and marrying, but is now divorced from her as well and in another relationship. But I had to pray.
She's married too.
Yeah. Because if I had to learn that forgiveness is for me, and I had to pray that out of me because I can't hate this person.
Yeah.
I didn't want to hate him anyways. I was angry, but I didn't want to have hate in my heart for somebody. My friends hated him more than me. They see him
once upon a time, you did love them. Like
I did, yeah, like him love.
Surprise.
Yeah, so I had to pray, and I'm happy where God has allowed me to forgive. We're gonna do our last lens check. So you said there's 3 questions you should ask yourself. I'm gonna carries over from this page. You said one of the major defining faith points that I had to ask myself, and you may want to consider, he's talking to you, is how do you view God? Here are a few questions that I would encourage you to spend some time exploring. Is God there to help you or harm you? What are the roadblocks that have prevented you from growing in your relationship with God? And are you blaming God for the bad outcomes that have taken place? The reason why I want to talk about that is because you did share a little bit about, like, you know, after you're divorcing in your single life, you weren't acting godly. You was partaking in all type of heathenism, no, so yeah. But your relationship, your relationship from God was getting more distant.
Sure.
And so how did you ask yourself those questions, and how did you reconnect? Because you obviously, I believe, reconnected with God prior to meeting your next wife.
For sure.
So how did you come back?
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I think
good question. Y'all want to know.
I think I met my end in the sense that the part about the blaming God, it was definitely some of that. There was a lot of that for me, like it, going back to the relationship, but then a lot of other things that had happened after it, and me not taking my own personal responsibility or accountability. It's always easy to blame somebody else, and for me, God was a part of the somebody else's that I was blaming, and so it just gave me an opportunity to justify my behavior, which was still self-centered. I think the sins that we commit are really for self-gratification. It's what is going to work for me? What do I want? Lust is all about, let me get what is not healthy for me now, and I don't care about you.
Yeah.
And so for me, after just like spinning my wheels, going in the circles, unfruitful relationships, not just, in partnership, but just overall, I'm like, we're not going anywhere. And I have all these distractions that are around, but I'm not moving forward. I'm just moving around.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're becoming the guy who you would not want your daughter to date or to deal with. And I was like, I wouldn't recommend you at all.
Right.
And so even when, I'm like, oh, I'm single dad, I'm taking care of my kids and, ride
like
or die,
a badge,
all of that. Like, you can't tell me nothing, women, because I'm out here doing it too. Look at me. And then look at her mother like, yeah, I'm doing more than she's doing.
Happy Mother's Day to yourself? Because you was thinking,
nah,
how the girls be like, I hate when people say Happy Father's Day to themselves. No, you the mom.
Yeah, I want you to know this is Father's Day.
Right.
Let's recognize that.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, peeling back the layers. I'm like, dude, really? You're drifting. Oh, you've drifted. You've drifted. And so after drifting, you got to think about, okay, well, what point in my life was I not drifting? Oh, when I was anchored in God.
Yes.
Like, so I want to get back to my anchor.
Amen.
God, how do I need you to rebuild me, redesign me, and then show me how to have better relationships with you, with myself, and then whoever else is after that. One of the things that I said before meeting my wife, I was ready to take the ride solo. I was like, God, I said, however long it takes, I'm cool with it. Like, I'm cool. Like, if I got to ride this out, just me and you, it's fine. But I'm not going to make a mess of my life.
But that's good, because that's when you get to that point, then
Yeah, absolutely. Like, here you go. Right. And I was just like, I was not like, I did not anticipate I'm gonna meet her.
Right.
And I was just like, okay, cool. I know for me, where I have been, I'm not going back to that. And so let me just get connected with you.
Amen.
And see where this goes.
Yes.
And
He'll make you better. Listen.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, was there a scripture that you feel like grounded you in that space? Do you have a go-to scripture?
Yes. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and all of his righteousness, and all these things will be added unto you. We think that it means all these material things are going to be added unto you. For me, I was seeking in my mind, I'm thinking if I seek him, I'm going to get that. No, if you seek him, the reward is him.
Amen. Yeah.
That was the reward. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
That needs to be enough for you.
Yes.
Like
he is enough.
He is enough. And that just kept me re-anchored that. And Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean on your own understanding, always ways and all of him, and you will direct your paths.
Yes.
Like, because I'm like, all right, I'm gonna trust you because
Yeah.
I don't know where this is going.
Yes.
I don't know. And to this day, like, even with this book where
show it.
It's crazy where I'm like, I did not want to write this at all.
Really?
Yes.
So who made you write it? You urged.
I chose to be obedient.
Okay.
Right?
God.
I did not. Like, two people was like, yo, Robert Connolly and my wife, they was like, yo, you can't just eliminate this part of your testimony and feel like, let me just jump into the next thing.
Right.
And then I thought about that. And then I said, you know what? When I was going through my divorce, going through divorce is weird because people get all funny. And you're like, they don't know how to feel. They don't know
what last name to call me. For me, it was my last name. They kept calling me the premarital last name. And then I'm like, but that's not my name anymore.
And they don't know where to place you because they might have their own opinions about things and all this other dynamics. And you're not hanging with all the marrieds because you're like, well, you ain't with us no more. Like you there. And then the singles, they don't have a firm grasp on what you just experienced.
Right.
So you like, okay, well, I'm here.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to navigate.
Yeah.
And so for you, 20 years, you're like, what
I know. Right when I gave up looking, then his cousin was like, I got something for you. I was like, I don't want to even talk to you about it.
And so, but the thing is, like, you're trying to learn this new life after this.
Yeah. I didn't know who I was.
Boom. And so I was like, okay, write to be what you needed. Right? So who did you need? Use the book as that for people who needed you to show up for them. And I was like, oh, got it. So this could be a tool for people who were in the position that I was in.
It's going to help you. It gives you food for thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gives you a meal. I got some meals in there.
Meals. This was a great book. Yeah, tell people how to connect with you, how to get your book.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No, again, I want to say thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah.
This has been fun. I'm excited about, the future.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing, we're doing collaboratively. I'm just grateful, like, just God bringing things full circle.
Yes.
Right? Because, Compound, I had a whole lot of single time here.
We had fun here.
I did.
What Angie said, you were the DJ at my compound party. I think he was living with her at the time.
It was like two
15 years ago.
Yeah, it was like two parties.
Yeah,
I was
parties.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't take no requests. I was teasing her, and I was like, yeah, remember he wouldn't take no requests because he was like, I'm a free DJ, don't take no requests. People like, he ain't playing the song I want. He was like, because I'm not being paid for this. I think I did give him gas money. But
you did. Oh, you did. You gave me some free food.
Okay. So yeah, he was my compound DJ for me.
And the ones I wasn't DJing at, I was just here. I was like, this is it.
Yeah, he was.
And let's see what talent's here.
Yeah.
What we got.
And be here this one too.
I was like, what we got in here? Just single trying to mingle.
Yeah, he was trying to mingle here.
I told her.
So found love here. She met him here, married him now. So here you go. She met Ralph here.
Yeah, I know. I was here.
You was here with the DJ.
It was. I'll say something offline.
Yes.
But you can find out about me, Rob Badgett, ROBBADGETT.com. All my information's on there, all the socials.
Yeah.
You can get the link to the book on there as well.
Yeah.
This is not my last book. I got a couple more in the canon, but for now, this is the present book that you can focus on 100%.
And shout out to your book signing coming up.
Yes, yes. I wasn't sure when
and
it was
I'll have
coming
the
up.
flyer in there.
Yeah, August 2nd. It's going down 5:30, 7:30 p.m. in Easton. We'll have the links probably posted under this video.
I'll have the link on this video.
We're excited, man. We're moving. It's been a good summer so far. We're just now really like building up the momentum of it because we're gonna rock this thing out. We're gonna turn it into courses.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, some merch stuff. Because I wanna give people some real tools that they can use. I can't see everybody in therapy. That's not gonna happen.
Right.
Like,
yeah. So it helps you reach more people.
Yeah, we're not. I get
your word is for a lot more than just local.
Yeah. We're not. No, I sometimes I need a break from y'all too. So just go get this download, and you got the conversation of the download.
So say it again. Your handle. Your
Rob Badgett, ROBBADGETT.com. Check me out there.
Check him out there. I Dare You to Love Again.
Yes.
And again, the first book is his love letters to her. Oh, excuse me, his love letters for her.
Yes.
But look him up by his title, his name, Robert H. Badgett the third. What does H stand for?
We will not say that.
He won't say it. I'm like, offline, I'll learn his middle name.
You gotta really get connected.
I know you 20 plus years. I
can't.
Offline.
Hey.
You guys don't know. All right. Well, thank you. It has been fun. Thank you for this. I hope you all enjoyed this episode. I told you as we go forward, we'll have some other special guests, and I'm just happy that you're my first live person guest. But I got a couple people lined up to bring to you, so you better make sure you tune in. I'm MurielOnline.com at Muriel_Lillian Lillian. _online. I know it's long. Muriel_Lillian_online. You can get your t-shirts. I got some mugs.
Working it out.
We said this is pink lemonade, y'all, not alcohol. Okay. He saw me pour in the cup. Right?
I did. You good. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Peace.
Bye.
If he tries